Yeah, look, obviously some advantages with letting the guys rest and recover a little bit. Chance to, I guess, look after a few niggles, that kind of thing. We still practiced, still had our usual week, just changed it up a little bit, did a bit of cross training, something different to keep the guys fresh. But yeah, look, good week. Look, it's probably not a surprise for me. I thought Gladstone, had the ability to go beat Rockhampton in Rockhampton. Not many people gave them that shot, but look, I definitely believed in that they could go do that, and it's credit to Derek and their coaching and what they've been able to do this season. So, look, not too much of a surprise. Doesn't change our mindset at all. Our focus is still on Toowoomba in the semi-final, and then we'll focus on who we meet. Hopefully, if we can get a win. Yeah, look, we played exceptionally well down in Toowoomba. It was probably our best game all season, where we strung 4 quarters of solid hoops together. So, look, obviously they're going to make some adjustments on that, and it's 0-0 going into the playoffs. So, for us, it's just a matter of doing what we do well defensively. D-Trans, they were really good in offense transition against Northside last week. Crashed the boards really hard and played with a lot of energy. So, hopefully we can steal that energy from them, make it ours, and go limit their looks, especially early on. Look, no doubt. I think Tyson Demos and Jeremy Kendall, I think that's one where, I think we got the upper hand of that one during the regular season. But, Jeremy's obviously playing extremely well. And we look to kind of carry his team into a grand final series. So, he did that against Northside last week. And obviously the other one is Aaron Mackay and how we defend that. So, but we've got a couple of things that we've been working on in practice to kind of slow down those guys. But obviously, Kendall averages 30 plus and Mackay's right on 25. So, got to try and keep those guys around 20 or under. If we can do that, it should put us in a pretty good position. Yeah, look, it's huge for us as a club. It's always great to have those level of games, here at your association, and it's great for the fans that have been here all season long to be able to watch some finals basketball. The crowd involvement's always a huge thing. Especially for us. We've got a fantastic crowd. They really get behind the team. So hopefully we can get them involved by playing some hoops that they want to get excited about. So, and on the flip side, hopefully, Toowoomba gets a bit more intimidated by that environment, and we can take advantage of that as well. Yeah, look, I think with that one, it could go either way. Both sides are, as I said, very well coached. 2 different kind of systems. Gladstone's a little bit more structured in what they do. Brisbane's really hard to scout because they play unorthodox. Their offense is built around motion. It's always difficult because they got any guy that could go and step up on any given night. So, look, I probably couldn't pick one right now. I think it'll go down to the wire, and it'll probably depend on who makes some big shots down the stretch. And Brisbane did that against Ipswich last week, and Gladstone did against Rocky. So, either one, I think, could go win it.
I think the home crowd was awesome on Saturday night, and getting the win was what we've been playing for all year. You'd like to think about what it might be like to be in a final, but you've got to get through those early stages. So luckily for us, it came together at the end of the game. But I think I thought Northside were going to be competitive, and they were. And they really gave it to us for most of the game. So it's just that we stuck in there and we were able to get the result at the end. Yeah, that's right. Mackay, a good team. They rely on their outside shooting, and from my point of view, one of the things we need to work on is making sure that we're always there when their shooters are there, particularly Hobbs and Cedar. The rest of the team, they can all play too. So. It's a bit of a case of making sure that we take advantage of what we get offensively, but we've got to restrict them. We've got to play a real tight defensive game on them and not really give them too many looks. I need a contribution from 3 or 4 other guys. Like Cam's been consistent. He's been shooting the ball well, and he gets a little streaky sometimes. So if he can just be consistent throughout the game, same with Charles Dickerson. If he can be, just solid in each quarter and stay out of foul trouble, he can make a big contribution. Same with Steve Cluck. Again, all of our starters have got the capacity to be very solid and put some points on the board, but they've got to come ready to play on Saturday. I think that was, such a long time ago. I think it was like round 5, and we've improved a lot since then. I think Mackay have too, but I'm not reading too much into that last game, apart from sort of hoping that maybe they don't shoot at 60% like they did the first time we played them. But I think given some of the other experiences and tough situations we've been in since then, we're going to be a better team, and we'll be able to compete a lot closer with them this time around. I don't think there's a lot of pressure being felt by anyone at the moment. No one expected us to go this far, so from that sort of underdog point of view, we just need to again focus on what we need to do. I think the challenge for us will be defensively, if we can stop the Mackay scoring machine and keep the crowd out of it. And if we can do that, control the tempo of the game and play that sort of basketball that we've been doing when we've been on the road. We tend to, get a good lead, and then we just control the tempos from there. So that's the strategy for this weekend. It's just about doing our thing rather than worrying too much about them. Look, in this Final Four, I think anyone can win, and my point of view is it's whoever comes ready to play on the day. Could be Gladstone, could be Brisbane, and I don't particularly think. I think it'd be a really good game. Actually, I'd like to watch it, but. I'm not too worried, because at the end of the day we've got a job to do this weekend against Mackay, and we'll be playing one of those two teams. So we'll see what happens.
Well, the key was to respond to what was occurring on court with James Legan, rather than reacting the way we did. So Legan hit 7 consecutive threes, and our reaction to that was to come down and jack shots up ourselves. And so not only do we have the problem of Legan scoring threes, but we had the problem now that we were handing momentum and tempo to Ipswich, so they had the whole box and dice going for them. So what we needed to do was we were going to control the tempo, so we needed to start taking good shots, and eventually in the fourth quarter we started to get a better shot selection. Once we got that, we were able to get our defensive stuff working in there. We were able to start to build some pressure. And the other key was getting a handle on Jason Ralph rather than Legan. We cut off his ball supply or make the passes not hit the dime by getting good pressure on Ralphie, and that was part of the key to getting Legan under control. Once we did that, I think it was 6 minutes to go, we were down by 15, and I think we ran home 26-6 in the last 6 minutes in there. So we just needed to get better shots and get control of the tempo again, and then start rebuilding that defensive pressure and maintaining it through to the end. Obviously they're going to be a different team. They were playing their 5th game in 8 days. We were aware of that. Now they're playing their first game in 8 days, so clearly they're going to be a lot fresher. And we've had the experience of playing each other, so certainly Gladstone know what we're about. The last time we played them, I don't think the scoreboard indicated our dominance in there. I think we got 28 turnovers from them. I'd said to our players that Gladstone are the most disciplined offensive team in the league. Coming down the stretch in that game, they were anything but disciplined. They were taking the first available shot. The unfortunate thing for us was they were making those shots, so they actually got to within 2 points of us before we got it back out to 6. But I think, generally speaking, we were quite dominant in that game, as you would expect us to be, playing against a team that had played 5 games in 8 days. They'll be fresh this time, so obviously they'll have studied us. They can concentrate on just us, not all the other teams that are playing on a 3-game weekend. So they're going to be a much tougher proposition. It's a very difficult question. Mackay have clearly been the best team all year, and under normal circumstances I would tip Mackay to win that game and win that game comfortably. However, their run into the finals has been a bye, a loss to us, followed up by another bye, and that might be alright in football, but in basketball momentum's a massive thing in there, and they've lost all momentum coming into this final. So it depends on how Joel's been able to keep his boys up and what he's been able to do to keep them going in there. But it's boy, I had to be going into a final like that. So I'm going to stick my neck out and I'm going to tip Toowoomba in there. They're coming in with a lot of momentum. Jeremy Kendall and Aaron Maxey played against Louisiana State the other night and they were outstanding. So I'm going to stick my neck out and tip a Toowoomba win.
It was a fantastic feeling, and in particular, I'm sure a lot of the former players and guys that have been on the team and endured a lot of losses to them over the years were quite thrilled. I mean, we had a lot of followers up in Rocky for the game, so you know, it's an amazing feeling. And also combined with the fact that it was the club's first ever playoff game, it was a great moment. But we got to look past it now and move on. I was extremely pleased with the fact that we defended, rebounded, and converted. And those are the three things that I really preached going into the game. And I thought the guys really executed our game plan to perfection on the defensive end. Offensively, we were very patient, and I thought that was a huge part of the reason why we won the game. At some point in the second quarter, I thought when we started to cut into their lead, that we were a pretty good chance of winning the game. And then when Michael Cedar went on his three-point barrage about midway through the third, I thought that winning the game was becoming a reality, and you know, it proved to be the case. Preparation has been outstanding. The guys are obviously quite confident. I just wanted to refresh their bodies and get them in a place where they're able to take in a lot of information. So it hasn't been very physical, but there's been a lot of mental preparation, and I think we're in a good frame of mind to travel down to Brisbane and get the job done. We made some tweaks to our offensive game plan. I think it'll be effective in helping us get the win. Brisbane are very good defensively. They play up-tempo basketball offensively, so we're really focused on making sure we take away those strengths. And I thought they really hurt us in those aspects of the game when we played them a couple of months ago. I don't like to predict these things. I know it's going to be tough with either team that we have to play in the grand final should we be successful. Look, I'm just worried about what we have to do, and you can ask me for a prediction in the grand final if we get there, and I'll give you one.